Hello, thank you for taking the time to join me on today's call. Appreciate the opportunity to share with you a little bit about Money Alignment Academy and see if it might be a good fit for you and your organization. The whole idea here is how to get your employees engaged and financially secure without spending a lot of time and money. My goal, I've been a financial advisor for 20 years and I'm fundamentally working to help people lead happier and more contented lives. My part of that is money. And as much as I'd like to think that with the internet and all the resources and knowledge and education that is available to everybody at their fingertips, the reality is that half of us are living paycheck to paycheck. We are broke. And the other really sad reality is that only a third of us are truly engaged in our work. And I think that those two things are absolutely inextricably linked. So my goal is to help people, again, become the best possible versions of themselves. And that's why I created Money Alignment Academy. What makes this different is when I think about that, I think about there's this great scene from the Social Network, which is the Facebook movie, where the character of Mark Zuckerberg is sitting across this boardroom table from these folks who are accusing him of having stolen their idea. And he gets fed up and he says, if you were the inventors of Facebook, then you would have invented Facebook. And that resonated with me because I think that if these great big financial companies were capable of helping people to become financially successful and happy, then I think that they would have been helping people to become financially successful. I just think it's really difficult for huge financial companies to create and implement programs, knowledge, whatever it might be, in a way that's actually workable, that actually causes people to take positive action. And I guess it's not really their fault. They're trying to do and be so many things to so many different people. So again, I've been at this for 20 years. I've worked with a couple of Fortune 100 companies, developing management and training programs before founding my own financial firm some years ago. Honored to be named to Investopedia's list of the top 100 most influential financial advisors in the United States. More importantly, there is my wife and one of my sons, Big James, for a little hike. Over the course of my career, I've done a lot of things right. I think I've done a lot of good work and helped a lot of people to become financially successful and created a lot of cool things. But the reality is that I've also done a lot of things wrong. I mean, always feel like my heart's always been in the right place, always trying to come up with ways that are going to benefit people. But the delivery of it, I think that's where I was going at it the wrong way. What I've sort of figured out over this 20-year period is that real change, there's no magic wand that's going to help people to all of a sudden be better at money, be better at saving, to have good habits. That in fact, real change is going to happen incrementally. And that's not super exciting, but that is the fact right there. If you can help people get 5% better every year, 10%, over the course of a couple of years, that's a huge difference. I also know that we need to be intentional about things. This stuff is not just going to magically happen on its own. We need to set intention, take action, put people in the position to be successful. And that's really what this is all about, is positioning people for success. I also know that real change requires discipline, then personal responsibility. I'm a huge fan of personal responsibility, but we need to put sort of guidelines and parameters on it first. Help people through discipline and accountability and support, and then they'll eventually develop personal responsibility. A lot of the common challenges that I see to companies putting in place successful financial literacy, employee engagement programs, financial wellness programs, is that all too often companies piecemeal these kinds of programs. They maybe have some money come free for an initiative or whatever it might be, but there's just not a lot of cohesion Oftentimes there's starts and there's stops with new programs and different ideas. New leadership comes in, you try different things. But again, the result all too often is a lack of cohesiveness and a lack of continuity over time, which doesn't lend itself to a successful program. Again, it's just start and stops. It never really gets off the ground. I think that there's really three keys for you to be thinking about in terms of how a program like this can help you to be successful. And the first key is that you don't have to be an expert in these areas. You don't have to be an employee engagement expert. You don't have to be a personal finance expert in order to help your employees. Hopefully you are. Hopefully you are, but you don't need to be. Second thing is that this isn't a program that's going to take a ton of time on your part. I think that in minutes on a monthly basis, this is something that you can implement, put in place, and really make successful. And the third key is that it doesn't cost as much as you think. I think all too often programs like this or consultants that come in are way too expensive. All right, so the first one, key number one, you don't have to be an expert in employee engagement, personal finance to help your employees. We right now, employees are absolutely drowning in information and starving for knowledge. You know it's true. I know it's true. The worlds of information, lifetimes of information is at our fingertips. How do I make sense of it all? How can I make decisions about which one makes sense for me and actually put these things in place? Individuals do the same thing as organizations. We piecemeal things. We go on diets. We get new exercise programs. We buy a financial book. We don't ever really put these things in place. There's not enough follow through. So, I mean, your people need it. And then, of course, you have countless numbers of salespeople and consultants calling on you all the time, probably every day, probably numerous times a day. And I'm sure that they're all fine and nice people, but how in the world are you supposed to make a decision about things? And you don't want to make a bad decision about things. You don't want to buy a program and have it be the wrong one or not do what you expect it to. I appreciate that. So I've boiled it all down. I've taken a career's worth of information and habits. You know, the classic behavior gap is having good information, understanding what I should be doing with something, but then actually what do I do with it? And that's really what my work is helping people to make decisions about things and actually do things, take action on these things. I'm fond of saying that I'd rather be useful than brilliant. So I think that people find that I'm not trying to impress anybody by my intellect, or I'm not trying to make your employees into financial geniuses either. I'm just trying to help people create good and lasting habits so that they can actually get to where they want to be financially. And so what Money Alignment Academy is, it's a combination of online courses and modules that an employee can take on a smartphone or a PC, a laptop, wherever they have an internet connection, they can access these courses. But then there's also community resources that you can pull down and plug into your existing ecosystem. If you have an existing engagement program, you can take pieces from Money Alignment Academy and incorporate them directly into your existing program. If you don't have an engagement program or a wellness or a financial literacy program, there are tools and courses which will help you to create those programs within your organization. And talking about that discipline and personal responsibility piece, I think that's one of the real big keys to helping people to become financially successful is providing great information to them, but then having that supportive community around them to help keep them accountable, to help be a cheerleader, just to help them get to where they actually want to go. I think that that's really the big opportunity here, and the opportunity that's missing from a lot of programs. So what I want to just go through is what the different components are, and then I'll actually show you what the course looks like or what the program looks like. But the essential course, it's learnings that we should have been taught in school that we were never taught. Subjects like understanding our credits, doing taxes, insurances, banks, all that stuff that is it's fundamental and basic information, but it's information we never learned. So this helps people with that. The fundamentals course goes a lot deeper, and it helps to examine our previous history with money. How were we raised? Did our folks talk about money? Did we have money? Did we not? Because that previous experience, that really informs how we use it today. We talk about your current financial situation, understand budgeting and cash flow and the different accounts, 401ks and IRAs, and the different investments that are available and how they interact with one another. And then we talk about what you want your financial future to be looking like, where it is you want to be, all those good and important things. And we cover the drivers of what successful people do with their money. So it's a very comprehensive course. Moving Forward Advocates. This is a course detailing all the different transitions we go through in life, like the birth of a child, the death of a loved one, graduating from college, getting married, getting divorced, eventually designing retirement income. So, and then also having access to local professionals in each one of those areas who could be a resource for your people. So very valuable. There's a nutrition and fitness component to Money Alignment Academy as well, because without a healthy body, don't think that you're going to get the most out of your life. So that was a very important thing for me to have as part of the program. Academy partners, again, a network of local professionals, and these are modules with videos explaining all the different important financial transactions that we go through, such as how much life insurance should I have, the different kinds of insurance, what's disability insurance, how do I save money for college, how do I prepare for a new baby. So all the different things that in our life that we're spending money on, buying, going through, these are explanations of all the important financial considerations you should be thinking about during those times. We have a monthly book club, so talking about those community resources and bringing down into your local organization the monthly book club. So there's instructions on how to set the book club up, how to invite people to be a member, how to select books, and I have a personal financial podcast I do on a daily basis, and I have a monthly book club element that links directly to this, where you have an opportunity to listen to the author talk about their book. So I think that one of the reasons we're bad at money is we never talk about it, and this is an opportunity to be doing that. Monthly webinars. So on a monthly basis, I talk about just important financial concepts that are confusing and intimidating, and really break them down to practical, actionable thoughts and advice. And then Strive Online Bootcamp. This is one that I'm really proud of and I enjoy. I've gotten such great feedback on it. It is a 2-week online bootcamp that is designed to help you get your mind, body, and money right. So it's incorporating physical fitness and diet. It's incorporating how we are allocating our time and our attention. How much time am I spending on my phone and screen time and internet use, and incorporates the envelope budgeting system. So fundamentally, it's detoxing our consumption behavior, it's detoxing our diet and our exercise, and it's really detoxing our screen time as well and our internet usage. We also have a private online group, so it's really important to build community within your organization, but then also people can interact with other users of Money Alignment Academy. So now I will take you through what the course actually looks like. So here we are at the Money Alignment Academy homepage. Just scroll through a little bit for you so you get a sense of what it actually looks like. And then I will take you through some of the actual coursework. Your employees will click on and be able to see all the different courses. It won't have the prices, which we'll get into in a minute. And then I wanted to show you what the actual courses look like. So this is from the Essentials course. It goes through all the different lessons that are part of it. And the video that loads here. And each one of the lessons has a corresponding worksheet with them that they can look at and they can download. So the coursework itself, it's pretty easy to navigate through, and the students will know on their homepage when they've completed certain lessons, and you'll be able to know when they've completed the lessons as well. So very functional, very, very easy to use. And that is that, but it's moneyalignmentacademy.com, and you can certainly go and check it all out for yourself as well. All right, thank you. The second key is that you can implement this program in minutes on a monthly basis. And I'm confident you are already spread way too thin. You're probably, like the rest of us, trying to work out your work-life balance, and there's probably way too many demands on your time and attention as it is. So I've designed this so it's very succinct. It's a step-by-step process for how you announce the program to your employees, how you roll it out, how you, on a monthly basis, manage it rather. It's the program itself is very simple. It's easy to use. It's all online. All of your employees will have their own account and username and all that good stuff. And for any troubleshooting, that's certainly something that we handle. The third key is that you can give this to your employees for way less than you think. I think a lot of the time when people hear about the program, they think it must cost a small fortune, but between setup and implementation and ongoing, but it does not. I mean, if I were to come to physical locations and actually implement and run these on site, it would be a totally different deal. But because of technology, because I'm able to reach a lot more people via the platform that we have access to, that's really been able to drive the cost way down. And I'm also the content creator. I created the program, so it's my desire to impact more people than less, and that's really what my life's work is. So there's Big James here to break things up a little bit. He's looking at me like, what are you talking about, Dad? So who's this work for? I think this works great for organizations that have or that don't have a retirement plan. It's financial resources for your employees. I think it's great for organizations that have a lot of different locations. So even if you wanted to get everybody together for one meeting, to have me come in live, it'd be tough to do that. And it's great for organizations that have a lot of virtual employees, because again, this is a tool that you can help to increase engagement, and it's a tool that can help you reach people without them actually being in the office. And the final real huge key to Money Alignment Academy, that every one of your employees will have access to a financial professional. If they have a question that they want to email, if they want to have a phone call, if they want to have a virtual call, if they want to get a retirement roadmap set up, personalized for them, if they have any questions, they get access to a financial professional at no cost to them, no cost to the organization. That's all part of the program. The impact of a financial professional, I don't think that you can overstate that. Vanguard did a study years ago that said that if you're working with a financial professional, it adds 3% to their overall rate of return over a lifetime. So that's a massive, massive impact. So I think that's probably the biggest differentiator and most important part of this is that personalized touch. So what's included in all of this? You have access to all the courses within Money Alignment Academy. An individual, you can go on moneyalignmentacademy.com right now and buy the individual courses. But for organizations, I simply give all of the employees access to all the courses. And then of course the access to financial professional. So I think that this is the question I always want to ask. If all this did was get one of your employees to be financially engaged, to be more engaged on a monthly basis, would it be worth it? Maybe. If we can get one of your employees financially secure every month, going back to that whole incremental change thing I was talking about earlier, if we could help one of your employees lead a more satisfied and happier life every month, would that be worth it? I think that it probably would be. And then what's one fully engaged and financially secure employee worth to you? You certainly know the cost of having to replace employees, to recruit, onboard, train. It's immense. So again, if you can get 10% of your employees on an annual basis to a place where they're financially secure, they're engaged, they're happier, What about 15%, 20%? I think that is the kind of incremental change that I'm talking about, and that's a very real thing. You can enroll your organization for only $2,000 a year. So I think it's very, very affordable. You can enroll now using the discount code. I'm even giving you a discount at checkout. If you go to moneyalignmentacademy.com, checkout, put webinar, checkout for 20% off, or just email me at contact@moneyalignmentacademy.com. Let's have a phone call. Let's have a conversation to really determine and learn more about your organization and whether or not you think that Money Alignment Academy would be a good fit. So thank you so much for Big James saying thank you so much for taking the time to sit on the webinar today. I would welcome the opportunity to have a conversation with you, and look forward to connecting. Thanks a lot.